Well, good now,
You're blowing it.
revolutionaries, and welcome to the Rise Up Morning Show for Thursday, January 30th.
We got there in the
Morning show.
We're talking about sticker packs. We're talking about what we're going to put on our logos in the future, and Alex is going to be an old, crusty, barnacle baby.
Why I gotta be so crusty?
Why
And
you
a
gotta be
baby.
so crusty? And a baby. He's just a baby. I saw this cute little TikTok video. Kim sent it to me about, like, if your wife is mad at you and she's short, remember, she is just a baby. And the guy had this wonderful dialect. It was so soothing.
So nice.
So
I
nice.
know
If you've
exactly
got
the
a,
clip.
I'll have to dig this up for you, Evan. But Kaio actually designed me a full body ghoul.
did he really?
Like over a year ago.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna need to see that. We're definitely gonna need to see that. And I will die on this hill that I need Neil to design me the perfect version of. I'm thinking Bro Sidon's face on the dolphin.
I will absolutely die.
That's
on
what
Oh
I'm thinking.
yeah, Bro Sidon.
If you haven't seen
That's-
Bro Sidon, if you don't know what we're talking about, I'll throw it in the Discord again because it
Might have to
go
pull it
back
out of
up.
the storage unit.
I'd have to pull it out of the storage unit.
It
yeah, exactly.
it didn't pass the girlfriend thumbs up thumbs down test.
Oh no, it didn't.
It did not, but she has met me in the middle by maybe getting like a nice commissioned piece that has like the Pokemon who are our spirit Pokemon like together on like a beach somewhere. So I was like, okay, all right.
Honestly, not mad
And
about
then
it.
I'm like, and then Bro Sidon?
And then Bro Sidon.
All right.
Uh,
I am so sorry. I'm gonna completely bogart this entire live because I have to show you these things that Kaio
Oh, I
made
thought you were about
because
to leave. I was like, well,
I just
nice
found
job.
them all. And
Okay,
oh my
while
God,
you're
they're
pulling
so
them
much
up,
better.
I will get the screen share ready, and I'm going to let everybody in the audience know if you've got a crypto question, let us know. This is the place for it. It's also Thursday. We're here Monday through Thursday if you're seeing us for the first time. So we get a little unhinged on Thursdays, but I'm Evan. He's Alex. He's Will. We're here to help you navigate the crypto space. We're happy to do it. Did I point in the right direction?
I don't know. No, I didn't see your point. I just saw Machiste's comment. To me, you're always Machiste. Spirit Pokemon. I swear, if Will was not good looking, he'd be alone forever. I mean, well, thank God.
Thank God. Shiba or Doge? What a great rapid fire question. What do you think, guys? Shiba or Doge? You got to pick one. I'm picking Doge.
I'm picking Doge.
Doge every day.
Yeah, I'm picking Doge. Pick Doge every day.
Why am I picking Doge? Do I think
that's
it's going
what I
to be
wanna
a better investment? I don't know, but Doge, good. Doge, friends. Doge, nice. Doge.
Yeah, I like the
Good.
meme.
I like the meme.
Good sentence.
I like the meme. Good morning, everybody. Have you heard of this new meme coin called Alpha? Seems to be making waves on Twitter now.
No.
Tell us more about it. Is it an AI agent? Sounds like it might be. Thank you for your knowledge and your time. You're
I think
welcome.
our,
Hey,
our
Dio.
threshold for what constitutes waves needs to be higher.
I think we do too. I saw a repost. A repost.
What?
Well,
saw
yeah,
a
I was.
repost.
Well, it is a repost, but the repost.
No, I was
been
from the 1800s for a second. I saw a
Yeah.
conversation on Twitter the other day where somebody was, asked, show me your new favorite token, and all the replies were just, the raids from this or that meme community. And I clicked one or two of them to see, like, am I early? No, I was late. I went to a deck screener page for one. It was called Brains,
Listen,
and it had the classic,
Always late.
dude,
chart.
If they are rating and shilling on other people's social media platforms, it's too late.
According to Richard, it's advertising
all-
alpha mindsets and whatever.
They're-
Doesn't that sound like a token you want to buy, Alex? You might be early to that.
I
kind of an
should
alpha.
sell all of my Bitcoin for it.
All due respect. That's the hard pass.
Oh, speaking of which, I bought Bitcoin last night after our conversation with Dennis, and I bought more Bitcoin this morning, and I'm going to buy more Bitcoin the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day.
I absolutely love it. Where do you
Next
do
day.
your Bitcoin buys, Will?
I do it on Coinbase.
Do it on Coinbase.
I just do it on the Coinbase Pro or Coinbase Advanced, whatever the hell it's called now. I got money there, so I buy.
If you had to use one exchange or platform, what would it be?
I
'Cause
mean,
know
for
we all
me, it's
use a lot of
Coinbase,
them.
but Kraken is great. And this is if you're in the United States. If you're in the United States, I mean, I would say like you're really just using Kraken and Coinbase. Some people like Robinhood because they have an account there and they have money there, which is the excuse I just used for using Coinbase. But I have spoken to people where Robinhood, once again, classic, just has the absolute worst customer experience, and they're now unable to withdraw their Bitcoin any more than a maximum of $1,000 at a time. And they have
their
quite a bit
limits
more
are
in there.
really low.
Yeah, their limits are super low. So like, fuck Robinhood, dude. Go use Coinbase.
I will
or
say we
Kraken.
did get an outreach from them. We might get the chance to partner with them soon and help them tell a better story. So
I love Robinhood.
Fuck
They're
Robinhood
great.
with an
They're
asterisk.
amazing good. Yeah, you know what? I'd like to help them be better.
How
I
many
would too.
recordings are there of me calling them sleazy and sketchy? Like, they got
But there are also at least 1 or 2 recordings. I like their on-chain wallet. I recommend everybody who's using Robinhood as an exchange get their on-chain wallet to start learning
Mhm.
self-custody.
Correct. Yeah, I've always said all of those things. Also, I love Robinhood. It's great.
Will's like, by the way, Robinhood.
Robinhood.
Forget.
I don't know. They got
Centralization
they got
is
some work to do.
wonderful.
They do
Would
have
I-
some work
would
to
I-
do.
Would I give them my advice to like make them get better? Sure, I guess. But
I
like,
would too.
they got a little. Okay, you want to see this? This stuff.
Yeah, I
is
do want to see this.
incredible.
Okay. So for
So-
everybody who doesn't know, our good friend Kaio is a wonderful artiste, designer, project manager, probably the most organized professional I've had the pleasure of working with in Web3. Would
Yeah.
you say?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Hang on, I'm trying to get the
yeah.
screen big.
Okay, so here's the thing. I opened all of these things in Discord into their own little tabs, and the names are. I really wanted to show these in a specific order because they're hilarious. So I'm gonna do my best to find the right one at the right time. But
Go up his nose. Go up his nose.
oh wait, okay, here we go.
Right up his nose.
Okay,
Go up his
so
nose. Yeah, it's good.
this-
yes. Closer. More.
This is the this is the first one. This is the
Okay.
All right.
Just share the screen.
I was like, come on, bro.
Just
Pictures
share
worth
the
1,000 words.
screen. Come on.
None of you are mentally or emotionally. or spiritually prepared for
Oh,
this.
gross. Gross. Oh, Evan, you're still
Yeah,
loading.
Will's like rugging me because it's just, I'm just waiting.
Evan's
Waiting for
internet
you,
rugging
sweetheart.
TikTok right now.
Oh,
If
come
I
on.
Should I screen share my TikTok?
Oh, come on.
I don't know if I want to share this to everybody.
If
This
you're
is
on Twitter
gross.
and everything else, I'm so sorry for how long you have to.
Honey,
listen
get
to
off the dial up.
Get that Walmart internet.
This reminds. Oh, damn it! There you go, Will.
Oh yeah, it's.
Oh,
now you get on
I have
phone.
seen this guy. You got it twice. Oh my
Oh
god.
man, look, he's got like a little tiny booty flap and then like a
So, like,
little
Are you guys-
pouch.
Are you ready for it to get better? Because Kyle dressed him up.
Oh, I mean, he
My-
needs clothing. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's it.
I'm gonna need one of those. You remember those fridge people that you could like change their clothes?
gets
I used to have a. That's what I want.
Dude,
Wait, did you
yeah,
say
he
it
would-
gets better? Is there
this
more?
would be a great fridge magnet with like all of his little outfits.
With like his little outfits, yeah, and you could just dress.
so yes, then we were like, okay, well he needs to go to work. So this is we need to dress him up a little bit more professionally. So
Oh, that's a businessman right there.
so
what's
he got some
this on
names.
the floor?
He's
is that
looking
like-
at crypto.
Oh, he's looking at crypto. That's so cute. Hi, little
He's
buddy.
researching.
So that one's
He-
Doge. The red one's Avalanche.
He looks like a thumb with an eyeball.
He does look like a thumb.
like,
Yeah. He's all thumb,
Oh, yeah.
baby.
or like a toe.
And anyway, then he dressed up even more and he got a cape.
Nice.
Hang on, buddy.
and then finally, where did he end up? On the cover.
Proof
Yeah.
of research. Nice. That's awesome. I can't believe how much work you put into this.
Seriously. That's little Alex right there.
If that doesn't pump Ethereum, I don't know what will.
Shout out Kyle for just being an absolute miracle worker.
Absolute miracle
that-
worker.
look at
If,
that little guy.
honestly, and people sometimes say, "Oh, you guys should launch a meme token. You got to do or whatever." If we ever do, some kind of like fun little collectible,
Okay, maybe. Yeah.
then that would be my candidate. We should have more little collectible tokens that look like
He's-
us but ugly. I'm
Christina
bullish.
Rugging me over here. Literally.
We can
how I
even
see
call them
Alex.
the uglies. The uglies.
Dude,
the
Only
Ruglies,
if mine
'cause it's
only
the
if
rise
mine
up.
is still beautiful. It's the only way I agree.
yours will look exactly like that. He'll just
Actually,
have a jawline.
Actually, yeah, but
No,
like
it's
just a
it's
big
just an
chin
entire jawline.
and like
With
sparkles.
legs. Yeah. I'd love that.
Okay, well, right now everyone is watching just this complete de-evolution of
I
the
don't know.
show
It's
as we look
a
at
good
as we
time.
look at the thumb with a mustache
Yeah, it's
and a
Thursday.
Sherlock Holmes hat.
I don't know. People like to
I-
hang. People like
I
to hang and
forgot
vibe.
how many versions of that he made, including the one in the G-string, and my day is infinitely improved. Don't come for me.
If you've got a crypto
Anyway,
question, this really is a
data.
place for it.
Markets.
Oh my God, hang on though. Neil is here, and I do want to say, I've been saying this to you, Neil. I've been shouting it to the void. I would love, in addition to getting Kyo to bring one or two of these back, I would love to hire you or collaborate with you or something to be the guy who generates the sticker. We want to do a sticker pack. That's what we're talking about. And I really need one with a dolphin body and William's face. And I can't think of anybody who's probably more equipped to generate that and put it together in a beautiful way than you, Neil. I have inspiration images. Let's talk.
Also, I would love for somebody to make a dolphin meme coin with a ticker of I would never promote it on the channel in any way, shape, or form. But in the Discord, I would love you forever. And you
I would
become my new
absolutely
favorite
make
person.
I would absolutely make a video about that, and it would be this new token is going to do 100x or something. I don't know. I would just
going to get
love it.
both of you arrested.
Great.
Hell yeah, perfect.
Don't come for me.
Put me in jail like the rest of my dolphin people at SeaWorld.
There's
lock you up like a can of tuna.
Yeah.
There's already a
Yeah, like a
tokenized
can of
drift
tuna.
with a name similar. There you go. There, it didn't take long.
Okay, so we've got a handful of
Gigajaw.
questions and a lot of great suggestions. I like Gigajaw. That's
good.
getting a
That's
point
really
for that.
good, actually.
Machiste, can we get it in the base token store? That's all I want to know. I am curious. Have you guys seen anything about Unknown Wants to Know X payments? It's Elon's
Partnering with
new
Visa.
integration of, making payments better.
Yeah, he's been talking about that for a long time.
And are
Yeah,
they going to integrate any crypto tokens? Because I've seen rumors both directions.
So, in the rug of the century, which is just hysterical to me, because obviously it was massively shilled as like, oh, X, and obviously it's just another opportunity to write a conspiracy theory about XRP.
God damn it.
And then X Money announces that they are going to use Visa.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Well, I mean, yeah, it makes sense.
No
If you're
word-
gonna-
no
that's
word
where you
on-
start, right?
Yeah, no word on
You
crypto.
start
but
with
you
Visa.
can't let that cat out of the bag because the rumor mill is keeping people going. So you got to keep that thing going.
We're all rumors, baby.
Always.
And Will
We being crypto.
And you're just a human cosplay of Powdered Toast Man, which shout out to Tori for the reference.
Ooh.
I think of Ren and Stimpy every time I see Kyo's logo work anyway, and I couldn't agree more.
So Neil, interesting comment about GTA 6 and fun fact for everybody here. So one of my closest friends in the world is the top developer and team lead for the development of Rockstar games. They're not incorporating crypto into the game. In the game there will be like cryptocurrency mentions and like it'll be in the world and stuff, but crypto is not in the game. They are not changing their business model in any way, shape, or form with what currently makes them several $1 billion. So they're not messing with that.
Yeah, the development budget on that bad boy is like north of $1 billion, and it's been how many years?
Enough.
8
Yeah.
years?
Damn. We were kids, man. We were just
We got
babies.
Gigajob before GTA 6 insane times.
Oh my gosh. Okay. We also have some other good questions coming in. And I want to highlight this comment by my friend Jay Pill. The best market indicator is how weird Will gets. The stranger, the more bullish I am. We had a question about the SEC versus utility tokens. DL wanted to know, so if a token has utility, does that make it okay with the SEC? And utility or not has really nothing to do with whether a token is considered a security. And actually, if you look at it historically in the last several years, it is less likely that a meme token or a totally speculative token will be hit with any kind of legal action or roadblock than a lot of startup companies using tokens to do actual stuff. For more on this, I recommend you give a listen to Chris Dixon on the most recent episode of Unchained about why he's excited about the incoming administration, because the TLDR is we need more helpful regulation. The laws we have are kind of outdated. Crypto assets are very new. They don't quite fit neatly into a lot of the categories that exist. And there are categories and laws that exist. But I think you should expect to get a friendlier regulatory environment with more clarity soon, thanks to our friends like Commissioner Peirce.
Yeah. And then also, and correct me if I'm wrong in anything I say here, but like with meme coins, they're pretty safe from ever being listed or recognized as a security because their whole thing is them saying, this is a joke. It's a joke. Therefore, there is no preset expectation of profit and like the ability to speculate off of it, right? It's they're saying we're a joke, we're silly, this is culture, right? That's one thing that gives memes a bunch of air cover. And then with utility tokens gives you some air cover as well, because you can argue that we are very clearly saying that the use of this token is not for you to make money, it's to be able to use our solution. Where you come into problems, right? That provides air cover for securities. When it comes, the issue is if any one member of the team goes on and says, "Yeah, I think the price of the token's going to go up."
You should buy it. Yeah,
yeah. Well, and we did see as a result of some paperwork filed in the Binance lawsuit last year, end of the year. I don't know, second half of the year. I don't remember exactly what month or when, but language from the SEC while old Gare Bear was still in charge.
Old Gare Bear.
That basically was in a footnote that just clarified, like, hey, by the way, when we say like security, we're not talking about just the token. We're talking about the whole investment contract. Sorry for any confusion that may have caused. And it's like, Gary, my brother in Christ, by confusion, do you mean the oodles and oodles of lawsuits that you filed that led to some confusion and billions of dollars in legal fees spent over how many years? Because you very, very clearly and specific, it was, I got to find the actual language because it blew my mind. And I'm just like, the tweet that posted that update to Twitter was Paul Grewal, he's the CLO for Coinbase, posting it basically saying Alderoti's going to shit his pants when he wakes up and sees this. And he did. Spoiler alert. Yeah. It was
on this topic,
just like, hey, sorry if we gave you guys the impression that we think cryptos are securities. That's not what we meant. It's like, holy shit.
Well, apparently he's coming back to my neck of the woods. I saw that he's trying to take up his job again at MIT as a professor. Yep. It would be hilarious if he starts putting out, ironically enough, the best educational content out there on crypto and blockchain tech. Because guys, if you didn't know this, Gary Gensler had like the best and might still be the best source of education on like blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies out there, which is why when he became the head of the SEC, we were all like, hell yeah. And then we're just like stabbed in the back with a knife by Gary Gensler, AKA Brutus, against Julius Caesar. And just like, why, Gary?
Yeah.
Tell me why.
It was painful.
So maybe I can run into him at a bar here and throw eggs at him.
We have a couple of good comments about
Very
it here.
expensive eggs. They're like $7 a carton.
Buffster points out that some folks he follows that have meme coins have started shilling harder since Trump coin dropped. The ultimate, this is not a security, this is just a joke. Go have fun is what the tweet said, but you might as well have said buy it, not financial advice. And Tech CEO has a really good question here. How is crypto different than TikTok tokens for gifts? And I would simply say that when I buy TikTok tokens with my cash and send creators I love gifts, I don't have an expectation that as a result of my action, I'm going to make money. The same way that a lot of speculators who buy cryptocurrency tokens like Trump, for example, do it primarily, I would say, because they think it's going to return value to them in the form of more money. That's one place that I do see some of the securities concerns that agencies like the SEC have. But, it's tough. It's very tough. We had another question, gentlemen, and I would also like your opinion on this in the vein of Doge versus Shiba. Somebody says, I'm feeling a lot of FOMO about Ondo. I'm thinking about moving out of Say specifically and rolling it into Ondo. Do you have any thoughts? And considering we really don't know this person, it's very hard to just give them a yes or no answer unless we're consulting the 8 Ball, which simply says Bitcoin fixes this. what would you say? How would you help this person to make a better decision for themselves?
I would say the Magic 8 Ball says you should be buying Bitcoin.
Honestly, truly, that's not a bad answer, 8 Ball.
That's not a bad answer. Alex, you want to take this up? I'm gonna pull up both charts real quick. The odds.
I'm gonna say while you're doing this.
Here's the first thing I want to say though. Your emotions want to lead you to make the wrong decision typically. So if that's how you're feeling emotionally, odds are you're wrong. Not always. So make sure you step away from your emotions and start to analyze things analytically. Just pulling up the chart super quickly right now. I'm sorry, Alex. I said you go. Now I'm like here. Now I'm ready. Ondo over the past 16 days is up 47%. Say, on the other hand, is, down quite a bit over that time. So odds are you're feeling that way because Say is down, Ondo is up. Your emotions are going to make you go and potentially buy a local top for Ondo at the same time where Say is about to go upwards. I think be patient. Don't chase after something that has a green candle that's doing better than yours in your portfolio. Be patient. You're going to have your time in the green and, take some profits as you go up, keep some stable coins around. And then as things bleed off again and you feel most despondent about the market, buy. Do the opposite of your emotions. That would be my coaching to you.
What about you, Al?
No, you said it. I mean, and so charts are one thing. Market mentality and psychology are another thing. And then I also always toss in that if that's the way that you're looking at these two things, then truly, and there's nothing wrong with this, just to this would help to be aware of as well. You are not remotely interested in what these things do or why anybody would want them, because Say and Ondo are wildly different.
Wildly different from one
Very
another.
different.
One of them is like an institutionalized, corporatized, real world asset tokenization play, heavily used by gigantic multi-gajillion dollar companies. And the other one is a brand new budding with very early on, not a ton of proof in the pudding, DeFi focused layer one blockchain. They're wildly different. It depends on a whole bunch of stuff. But exactly like Will said, one of the things that crypto does to people, because they are often brought into the space by watching someone make a bunch of money very quickly, and then they come in and they don't make a bunch of money very quickly, which leads them to feel like they're doing something wrong, which then leads them to do way more wrong things and sell things at losses and buy things when they're exploding because that thing's going to keep exploding because the dude on TikTok said so. And then all of a sudden you have lost even more money, and then you try to cut that position down and do the next one, and you just on and on and on and on until you've lost everything. And don't do that. Have you seen Mert has been giving just advice on Twitter lately where he's just struggling to find product market fit? Try coming up with a product that the market wants. And
savage.
Well, I mean, not wrong.
So the Mert version of advice on that would be: sick of losing money in crypto? Try not losing money in crypto. And
I mean, damn, that's.
But
man, if only I'd heard that years ago.
Yeah, right.
Damn. Son of a bitch! God damn it.
Buy the bottom.
Anyway,
sell the top.
Yeah.
Had it backwards this whole time.
Don't chase the green candles and don't try to catch falling knives. Isn't that what they say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And
we have a couple
don't
more.
lick poles in the winter.
Don't lick poles in the winter. Honestly,
Amen.
underrated advice.
This is a gross
Underrated
misrepresentation of
advice,
the facts.
depending on where you live.
Amy says Mert is my favorite person on crypto Twitter. Might be Alex's too. And Alex, you're in his DMs, aren't you? There's a chance we might be able to have a conversation with him on the show.
Yes, I slid.
I
So
slid.
you're telling me there's a chance?
Absolutely love it. We
I
had
asked him
another
if he wanted
question,
to be on the show, and he said, "Sure." So I'm working
which
on it.
honestly for Mert, that's
Sure.
about as good as you can get. We had another question on Ondo that we touched on last night. So do you think now that Ondo is partnered with XRP, it'll increase the value of Ondo? I personally would say strike that, reverse it. I think XRP needs real proof in the pudding news a lot more than Ondo does right now, and that it could be good for both of them. But bringing OUSG to XRP's network, Ripple, is not maybe going to bring a huge influx of cash to Ondo because there's not a lot of TVL there. And most of their partners prefer to use Ethereum. But it could make more people in the XRP community excited, retail investors, to buy into Ondo. And I definitely think it'll be a great press release for XRP to say, look who we actually partnered with, who's really here doing transactions also on our network, which is not something they can say about a lot of people. I think that's bullish for them and bullish for Ondo, just to say we're getting bigger.
Yeah, I think it's bullish for both. Just like you said, for Ondo, it's about getting the XRP army. I really wanted to say cult. It's getting the XRP cult to then also become an Ondo cult. And dive money into Ondo. It's great for that, and then also great for XRP for the same reason. It gives more validity to them. It's a very smart move for both.
We had another question about meme tokens, generally speaking. Doge is used in many payments places for payment. Bonk has a great bot that generates revenue. I think Floki's got some utility too. And I'm curious what you guys think about this. Is the value of a token like Doge or Shiba or Bonk tied more to its meme or its utility? If it's got utility.
Meme.
Yeah. Tell me more. I kind of think that too. And I tend to think that the utility, if anything, maybe sets a floor for it. Like, it would be wild for me to think that BonkBot, which has like $300 million in annualized revenue, would just go to zero because of this product, even if the meme fades out of relevance. But that if it goes to the moon, it's not because everybody loves and uses the bot.
Well, I always just think too, like the spectrum of utility for a meme is huge. You have, so for example, BonkBot giving you a product that tons of people use that makes a bunch of revenue is like one version. SHIB deciding that they wanted to have some sort of purpose, so kind of trying to build that universe is different. That feels like scrambling to fill a void with like something to give people a reason to stay here because I can sense they're getting bored. Meanwhile, then, and we've seen it fail too. SafeMoon was going to do a wallet. Remember that shit?
Oh God, SafeMoon.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Dude, they were like the first meme token to do that kind of utility thing.
Every single time I ever am reminded about SafeMoon, I think of the promotional video that Dave Portnoy made of it, where he was just like, I bought SafeMoon. I have no idea what it is, but I want to be safe and I want to go to the moon. And it was his face like on a rocket ship. I was just like,
Dave Portnoy is like the worst crypto investor, maybe after Kramer in history.
He finally bought Bitcoin at a price he didn't want. He's like, I'm just going to hold it. And now he's profitable. So, hey, he learned after like 4 years of fucking up.
He is awful, like truly awful at it, but he makes up for it by having straight up the best attitude about it ever. He does.
Like, yeah, exactly. 100%.
He will do something just terrible and then be on Twitter and be like, guys, I did it again.
I did it again. I did it again. And everyone's like, Davey, why do you hurt yourself like this, kid? Come on.
Just keep buying pizza, man.
Yeah. I'm rooting
just keep
for
eating
that man
pizza. Be safe in these streets. Bitcoin's out for you, dude.
Do you guys even own Bitcoins? Well, I
own the Bitcoins.
I do own the Bitcoins.
I do own the Bitcoins.
I don't have multiple whole coins.
Yeah, nor do I.
Unfortunately,
I think you might be sitting on a couple of Bitcoin. Am I wrong? Confirm. He's like, I can't tell you. I
have Bitcoins.
Who wants to help me?
Yeah, so my first purchase of Bitcoin was at $6,000. Actually, it was 6,800. And then when it was at roughly 27,000, I liquidated my 401k and put it into it. To put that into perspective, I have been a 1% earner by age group since I was the age of 17. I'm 32. There's only 1 year in there where I was not a top 1% earner.
What a beast.
I have some Bitcoins.
You got some Bitcoins, baby.
When I first arrived at crypto, I did not know that you could fractionalize.
Cosmic, how'd you know? Will has 5 Bitcoin.
I didn't know that you could buy pieces of Bitcoin. I thought you had to buy them one at a time, because the only thing I had ever done before was buy stocks through my Roth IRA on Charles Schwab. So there was no like breaking up, stock position. You had to buy 1 share, or you could buy 2 shares, or whatever. And Bitcoin was $3,100 or something. And I was like, well, shit, that would be cool. That's, I've heard of that one, but I don't have $3,000 to invest.
Damn, dude.
And I did.
If only you had a Rise Up morning show.
I know. If only I had red for 5 minutes. If only I had red. But it's okay because ETH was $87 and I got some of that instead. Still have those original ETH too.
Nice, dude. Oh, someone goes, Will's a cook, huh? I never sold drugs. I didn't do that. I had a business teaching swim lessons to super rich people in Southern Connecticut. All right, that was my teenage job.
Tell me you're laundering money without telling me you're laundering money.
Yeah.
I'm not laundering money, I swear.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a guest request from our friend of the show, your friend, and all-around good guy, Doug. So I'm going to bring him on up to the stage. He says that there's always a good time for an entry, and
Doug, turn
this
the bathroom
is proof
light
of
on.
that.
Why is it so dark?
Welcome, Doug.
No, so I am actually in a glass box of emotions right now. Like, actually, hold on a second.
A glass box of dark emotions.
One of those business
It's
offices.
actually a glass box.
Okay.
Yes.
Welcome to the show, brother. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Great.
Still
We're
good.
live. Happy to be here.
No, so the comment on there's always an entry. It
Yeah.
took me so long to realize that, like that. Well, first of all, crypto is 24/7. Like just that's that, right? So there's always a time to say, hey, I miss it. I'm so okay now saying that I missed something. So like, I'm not Nando. I was a Nando at 20 cents. Don't
Nice.
talk about that. But anyway, so like I know if I want Ondo, I will wait to find the opportunity to enter. And that's it, because things always come back. It has to go up and down. It can't be up only all the time. So that's just wow. It's like I'm like, oh, I'm like red here. Like I'm angry. Okay, there we go.
Very Sith of you.
Yeah. So that's. But yeah, that's it. So you got to slow things down. There's always an opportunity. The FOMO is definitely going to start kicking in for folks as things start taking off. And it's always that, oh, this one's taking off while my other one's not. So I'm going to rotate things over. And then, oh, that thing's coming back. And now the thing that I sold is now taking off. It's like that. That's going to just grind yourself to zero. And there's a reason why you've already picked some of the positions that you're in. And you got to have some conviction. Like, so keep that in mind as you're going through this, especially when things start moving, because it's going to test your emotions. And the best thing you could do in many cases, you should have a plan prior to going in. But if you don't, just hang on.
Yeah, well said. You're getting shout outs from the audience. Everybody loves you. We definitely recommend you give Doug a follow because he's a wealth of knowledge. And Doug, tell us about the show you're doing on Fridays. I'm sorry I haven't been able to tune in yet. I really would like to. It's over on.
This is the third one, so don't feel bad. Third one, fourth one. This will be the third week. So tea time is tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. You can check out, I got to make it easier to get the links, but it's on the 99 cents Twitter page. There's a Spaces link there, and I'll post it actually in the Discord later. But what the purpose of the tea time is I'm looking for projects that pique my interest and kind of where my, like, let's say my industry, or at least the things that from an analytics data perspective, or really just good projects in general, and having more of just a what you guys do here, right? Just have a free-flowing conversation about what the product is, how it makes sense, they differentiate themselves from the market, and kind of ask the dev questions, the question that I really want to ask, and just kind of see how that plays out. So I'm excited to have Trench Buddy on tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, right? Today's Thursday? Yeah, tomorrow.
That's right.
Yeah. It's one of the projects that it's like I'm living vicariously through this dev who's 10 years younger than me, but it's like I wish I was doing the things he was doing with the ideas that I have today. So I'm fortunate to now be speaking to him on a frequent basis and giving him input on some ideas that I have. And it's like he's already a step ahead of me every time, and I love it. So yeah, I'm excited to have him on. So yeah, tomorrow tea time at 3 p.m. Eastern.
Hey, cool. I can't wait to see it. I really thought when I first heard about it from you, based on the kind of tool it was, I was like, is this just Doug's alter ego? Because it seemed like, based on what I've learned from you, how I've watched you work, I was like, this is absolutely the kind of thing that Doug would build. Like, and of course he would understand and recognize the value of it. So I'm excited for you to be able to give your thoughts and reactions and feedback, because I bet a younger version of you would really find it helpful. As much as
I think I'm still young. I think I'm actually still like maybe 20, 22 maybe. Yeah, I think I'm 22, something like that in my mind. One quick thing on the markets here, I'll just say. So,
please.
Unpopular take. I am bullish overall, but I can't see stocks. So not crypto. I can't see stocks holding on.
Yeah, exactly. I'm totally on the same page with you on that. Stocks look weak. Bitcoin looks strong, which is weird to say.
Yes. And like, so I end this because of the uncertainty. Like, that's it. It's the uncertainty of the unknown of like, what's going to happen tomorrow in regards to like of policies, executive orders, or whatever it may be, just in general, that general vibe that's out there. It's kind of the unknown. And for us living in the crypto world or the Twitter world, everyone's bullish. But then I talk to friends and family who are asking me like, oh, should I start selling some of my positions like in just the stocks that are in crypto? And they're like, just in general. I'm like, okay. So it's just a different sentiment because it's been up only for a long time. So I'm keeping an eye on that. Now, if the S&P and NASDAQ do roll over, I'm very curious on what crypto does. And now, as of right now, crypto looks super bullish. Right? I can't say it's not.
In my opinion, everything is perfectly set up for a major decoupling of stocks and crypto.
Oh, we're going there?
I'm going decoupling right now because on one side you have the stock market where we've had some missed earnings reports. Interest rates aren't going to be cut again for a while. It seems like, and we have from a TA standpoint, there's a gap further down on the chart. The monthly stochastic RSI has been in overbought territory in and out of it for a really long time. There looks to be some really strong evidence to say that if you're in stocks, got to be a little defensive. With crypto, usually if stocks are weak, crypto is going to get weak, right? They've been super in line with each other. But the thing off weighing that is you have strategic Bitcoin reserves in 14 states with legislation. Utah's looks to be passed in February, according to our conversation with Dennis Porter yesterday. Digital asset stockpile, Senator Cynthia Lummis's bill. The Czech Republic trying to buy $7 billion of Bitcoin. Russia's probably buying. Middle Eastern countries are probably buying. Michael Saylor's issuing stocks to get money to buy Bitcoin.
Didn't China just re-allow citizens to own it again?
But they also have dumped a bunch of Bitcoin that they hold, I've heard.
That was a rumor. I didn't look it up though, but
that's what I saw.
In November, China allowed their citizens to be able to hold Bitcoin, but it's still not easily accessible unless you go through Hong Kong markets.
Right. Okay.
And so there's so much more bullish stuff. And the other thing too, underneath all of this, and I've been saying this for a long time, is that when you have a crisis in the traditional stock market, Larry Fink will have the proof for what he has been planting for the past year and a half, going on media saying Bitcoin is a safe haven asset. The only way you prove that Larry Fink is right, who will make sure he is proven right because he has the power to do so and influence markets, is you need to see stocks fall and Bitcoin go up a lot. And this is the perfect setup to make sure Larry Fink's marketing platform over the past year and a half is correct. And that, if you have your tinfoil hat on, like I think you should in this instance, Larry Fink is the puppet master that makes markets do what it does for the most part. He's the largest influence outside of government and government affiliated groups like the Fed. He's going to make sure he's right.
So let's play that scenario. I agree with everything you just said, but let's play that scenario. How do you see a decoupling happen? Because there has to be some equilibrium, right? Where eventually the stocks come back up and there's like a resetting of this is what crypto is and this is what traditional finance is. But in the short term, let's say there is let's for argument's sake, S&P 500, NASDAQ rollover, 5%, 3 to 7% in the next couple of weeks, and crypto takes off. Can crypto sustain that for a period of time longer than a couple of weeks, or is it kind of just I'm not going to say blow off top, but it's like an influx of capital, but then also need a realization, almost then bringing it back, which may be higher prices from where we are today, to then realign to wherever the stock market is at that point?
Well, I think what this ends up becoming a really cool, fun additional tool for hedge funds to fuck with the market, right? Because that's what every single asset to a hedge fund is, just a tool to fuck over the market. That's what they do. It's how they make money. Perfect example, the Bitcoin ETFs are a fantastic tool for the hedge funds to mess with people, because you buy the ETFs, you let that ride up for a while, you open up short positions, you sell your ETF positions at a massive profit, you profit off the short positions, you cause the market to fall because you have gigantic sums of money to make it fall, and you buy back in, boom, you sell, you open up a short, so they're profiting every single step along the way. They're the best market manipulators in the world. If you then decouple crypto from the stocks, you give them another tool. It's like, cool, we're going to sell our stocks, we're going to open up a short there, we're going to take the profit from our stocks, we're going to buy Bitcoin, Bitcoin's then going to go up, we're going to open up a short there, and then we can take that money, put it back into the stocks, and you just give them another seesaw to make infinitely times, well, not infinitely, but drastically more larger sums of money, which is absolutely the goal of market makers and manipulators, aka hedge funds. So that's what I think is going to become. Now, it's not going to be a perfect one-to-one pairing, but you know, that's just how it's going to play out, because that's how the market works today between safe haven assets, commodities, and stocks. And that's what hedge funds do, and that's what they're going to do here. And that's why they're salivating to get into these ETFs. And that's why the Bitcoin ETF has been able to get more assets under management in it in less than a year than what is currently in gold. So, you know, that's how I read those tea leaves.
No, and I like that thought process, because it makes sense. Like that would be the most plausible scenario that's here, the manipulation part of the equation. And also too, for those entering new into looking at charts, I got really good at it once I realized if you can think from the point of view of the other guy, like the market maker. Like imagine like you had a dial and like you were like, hey, I want to do this to make people the most uncomfortable who are in positions, and like think that way. And all of a sudden now your mind opens up and starts being like, oh, okay, now I see the other side of the coin, because you know, there's a buyer and seller. There's two parties on the side of the equation of any given trade. So once you do that, you can start thinking about things differently. So that aside, I'll let you guys go in a minute here. I think that short term, I'm bearish on, or at least cautious on the stocks in general. And crypto, it's like I'm cautiously optimistic. I'll be very, very convinced on crypto taking off. I'll use one example, like ETH. It's in a downtrend since mid-December. Once ETH's able to break that downtrend and flip this $3,400 level and say, hey, price is accepted there, I'll be sold then. I'm just using ETH as a proxy, regardless of whatever accusing token. But ETH to me, for just the state of alts and in general, because Solana's a little weaker, definitely weaker than ETH. I think ETH's a good gauge to use, kind of giving you guidance on where things are going to go next. So it's something I'm going to be watching very much so. But so ETH above 3,000, I like a lot more above 3,400, and we'll then play it by ear then. That's it.
Yeah, I think 2025 should be a very good year for Ethereum.
Yeah, no doubt, 100%.
Lots of points for both of you.
Yeah, hey, we try. You know, Will's got a better jawline, but you know, I think we're in line.
way up there said, is Will and Doug not the crypto Captain America versus Tony Stark? And honestly, yeah. I agree. I sat back. I was typing in the comments. I said, it's really great to let the adults talk and just chill.
Wait, who am I? Give me someone. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, okay. In the comments, who's Captain America? Who's Tony Stark? Honestly, I think we can conclude though. You're both heroes, and we appreciate the work you do. You know, that was honestly compelling analysis. Thrilling.
Yeah, I should make a video on that. Damn it.
You both should. I would like to see you have that conversation back and forth, and you know, because I had been kind of thinking about it, like, wow, you know, stocks and crypto, and could we see a decoupling? But to hear you basically have the play in front of me, I was like, okay, great, good. That's why we do the show.
I mean, honestly, with that said, if there's ever a time, like, well, I don't know, I've been trying to find a good forum for folks to talk. Like, there are people who want to listen to that dialogue in general. I want different perspectives. Like, I want someone who's like a bear perspective or bull perspective to talk through it, not saying like who's right or wrong, but just to hear different takes. And I know there's X is there, you can do that, but I want something where you can visually do it at the same time to pull up charts and kind of talk through it. And I haven't found a good place for that. So if maybe it's one day a week we do something like that, I don't know when, where, but I just want to have more discussions like that, because like most of it's with myself, my head, talking to myself. I need to talk to more people. So yeah,
we can always hop in a live at some night when we don't have the show or something, just you and me.
Yeah,
wherever you want.
Yeah,
I would support.
Sweet.
Yeah, I would support it, and we would promote it, and I think a lot of people would be interested in attending.
Yeah,
cool. All right, I'm gonna jump. So just real quick, my bio in my TikTok bio here is my Twitter profile. That's all I got. So from there, you can find everything. You can find 99 cents. You can find the tea time. I really would hope just jump on a tea time tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. It's a Twitter space. I'm interviewing a very, very smart individual, someone who I wish I was in a different life. But hey, I'm gonna ride with him. It's a dev of the Trench Buddy, and I'm excited to hear what he has to say and challenge him in a couple questions. So that's it. And I guess I'll let you guys go and enjoy the rest of your day.
99 cents. It's on the can, and so is Doug when he joins from the bathroom. Thank you very much for joining the show, Doug. It's great to see you.
I'm in a telephone booth this time, not the bathroom.
I'm in a telephone booth.
Give me some credit.
Keeping up with a Superman
theme. $35 to be here today. I laughed.
Bye for now, brother.
All right, guys. I'll see you. Take care.
Man, it's so nice to talk to somebody who actually knows about markets.
Listen, I don't know what you mean by that.
I have to deal with these guys.
I couldn't hear you
all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That was
You know,
it's good to learn from.
I was gonna mention that. So I don't know. Obviously, this is not a surprise. I don't know much about technical analysis. I like the very basics about like what a chart means. Like I know what candles mean and all that sort of stuff, but pattern recognition and tracking trends and like, doing anything other than like there appears to be support at this level or resistance at this level, that's about the max of my skills. But the most skilled technical analysis that I know is someone who doesn't believe that like news fundamentally matters at all, like doesn't keep up with current events, exclusively reads charts and reacts based on like what's going on there, and is probably the most profitable trader I've ever heard of, and is a complete hermit about it, and has told me multiple times that someday we will just all quit hearing from him because he will recede into the woods and never speak to anybody again.
Beautiful.
And Bitcoin is his methodology for doing that. So it is very interesting. Like clearly there's something there. I do have in the back of my head that all TA is just a bunch of people making self-fulfilling prophecies come true because they all believe them to be true at the same time.
My triangles are magical.
Right. So
Shapes.
except for Will's shapes and squiggles,
shapes
because
and squiggles are
yes.
The energy with which you said that was like my milkshake brings all the boys to the yard.
Yeah, damn right.
My
Speaking
triangle.
of milkshake bringing all the boys to the yard, I do have a really important macro update that somehow I missed.
Woo, let's get it.
Damn it, Will.
the sorry, we have to talk about markets. You guys can go to sleep.
And actually, really quickly, can I before you totally change topics, can I just say on the note of TA and your milkshake, Will is teaching a class tonight. It's sold out, but if you want to learn technical analysis and you want to learn it with Will, after this class is live and we have the recording, I will post it for everybody to get for just $15. If you're a premium member in our Discord, you can get it for as low as $6. If you are looking for a course, I suggest you try it because I happen to know that Will has a banging PowerPoint prepared, might have SpongeBob references on deck, and also will show you the top tools and indicators he uses that will elevate your understanding of what technical analysis is. That'll be available at the riseupmorningshow.com and in our Discord server. Totally free to get there, hang out, ask questions, join. The recording will be available later. We'll continue.
Yeah. So market update. So this is a very small thing. It's just the United States Q4 GDP report. Real small thing. Not that important at all. Totally
This
missed
is
that.
a gross misrepresentation of the facts.
So let me read this off to you. The U.S. economy grew at an annual rate of 2.3% for the fourth quarter. This is below expectations of an increase of 2.7%. However, 2.3%, that's pretty good growth for the U.S. economy, actually. That's not, it's like anything really above 2% is seen as pretty damn positive, or average, right? This is about like pretty average growth. That's down from growth of 3.1% in Q3 though. So Q3 was super, super strong. 3.1% is nuts growth for the United States economy. That was Q3. Real consumer spending rose by 4.2% year over year from the previous quarter of Q3 at 3.7%. So Americans are spending. Americans are spending money in a big way. In part, that is affected because of inflation. But still, we'd like to see that number going up for confidence in the U.S. economy. The GDP price index ticked up 2.2%, below an estimate of 2.5%. Core PCE prices rose 2.5%, matching expectations. A quick little note here by this analyst. Despite fears over a looming downturn, the U.S. economy continues to grow at an above-average pace as consumer spending remains resilient. The Fed has no reason to cut any time soon, which makes total sense. If the U.S. economy is strong, then Jerome Powell and the Fed go, oh, okay. Then, like, I don't have to think about cutting interest rates to try to alleviate pressure from the market. The market can handle rates at these current levels, so I'm still worried about inflation, so we're going to keep it here. We'll wait to see. Jerome Powell's not going to do anything until he either sees the economy move in a bad way, or he sees inflation move in a good way.
It also was, I think, perhaps a little bit encouraging. I mean, regardless of whether you agree or not, but just to see like a little bit more of a sense of stability, to have like the president request or demand a rate cut and the Fed go, no. And then
the Fed's like, I don't actually work for you.
I'm pretty sure the quote for Jerome Powell was, I really don't care what the president said, or something very similar to that. Somebody asked him, what do you think about what the president said? And he said, I just don't care.
And he doesn't need to.
And just to be abundantly clear, because I know that it's going to be contentious, as it always is, Jerome Powell was appointed by Donald Trump last time.
He was. This is correct.
He was appointed to be independent. That is the point of the Federal Reserve. It's also the point of the SEC, which is why we had that whole conversation about, if Gary wants to step down, Gary has to step down. Gary can only be fired under very specific circumstances. As we've seen with the inspectors general, that doesn't really mean anything. Trump will fire whoever he wants to, just because he wants to, regardless of what the law says. But there's like a bunch of nuance there. So obviously, Gary did us all a favor and bowed out. So there's that. But just to I think that a little piece of the maybe iota of confidence coming back was just like some sense of normalcy or stability, because so many things are up in the air.
Yeah, and in terms of just like the numbers, one of the numbers that stood out to me as like I don't pay a ton of attention to this stuff was the consumption numbers. Consumer spending pretty strong, but consumer sentiment pretty low.
Correct.
And I definitely think it's worth paying attention to, like, gaps in the chart. Where those gaps exist, I think they probably will be filled in terms of either people will continue to be dissatisfied with the amount that they are spending because things are more expensive or whatever, or we're going to have to find another way to twist the wrench and ease stuff. That's all I have to say. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's my macro contribution.
Someone asked, do you think that
Wait, Will, what? Are you muted?
Will's frozen on screen.
Nope, you're good.
Oh,
no, you're good.
Frozen. Oh, okay. Never mind. What I said wasn't really all that important, but I just add to your statement of pointing out to consumer sentiment, which is being down, which is like, well, how is the economy good? It feels so bad. It's because of inflation. Yeah. It's an excellent point.
Will said I made an excellent macro point, so thank you very much. I'm leaving the show for the day. I'm out of here.
Yep,
perfect.
Going out on top.
I'd give you a macro ding. Ding.
Macro ding.
There it is.
Two things. One, someone asked, do you really think that Jay Powell will win in the end? He either will or he'll be fired without cause. Those are the only two options. He's demonstrated that he doesn't care and that he is doing his job, and the best that he sees, however he sees fit. Whether you agree with him or not is besides the point. But the Federal Reserve is independent of government control. That's the whole point. So seeing that indicates that yes, he's doing his job. You can agree or disagree with him. That is a separate conversation. But the fact is that he's doing his job. And then also really quick, just because I saw it going back and forth, and if you didn't read the whole thing, there was some conversation in the chat going about Solana's inflation / capped or max supply. There is no max supply for Solana. However, it has a fixed inflation rate, which is unchanging.
Doge is insane.
So, yeah, so you can calculate exactly like what it will be at all times. So it's kind of that middle ground between like a hard capped token supply on something like Bitcoin, which you know exactly how much of it will ever exist. And then also something with a variable inflation rate, like a meme coin that's mintable that someone could add.
And so is ETH. ETH is like that too. They have a burn rate. They have an emission rate. It's
correct.
It's mathemagic. As our friend
it's run by code, and you can look into all that stuff and check it and track it and see what all the numbers are, all that good stuff.
Yeah, definitely. And before you get outraged about it, or any DeFi protocol or any kind of smart contract thing, like there's so much information that you can look up and verify. But honestly, it's a little bit overwhelming because you got to go to like the Ethereum Foundation, the forums, and you're welcome there and you can participate. But there's like 8 years of history that you got to catch up on, and people have been having, it's kind of like you just got to the party and you have a big opinion and people are like, take several seats. You know what I mean? Like this is it's a welcoming community, but also they've been here for a minute doing this work. So if somebody bristles at you or it feels a little intimidating, don't be intimidated. Just use your 2 ears and close your one mouth and consume information until you feel like you're up to speed.
And remember that all of them are having a really hard time right now.
They are having
real hard.
Shout out to Ethereum. We love you. We recognize it's hard. Sorry that happened, pal.
Hang in there.
Yeah. We're ready. We're ready for you.
Pat on the branch. Hang in there, guys.
Are there any coin callers that you recommend watching? What a great question. My answer.
Coin callers?
Yeah, I think this person means somebody who's like, this is a token you should buy. And my answer is no.
No.
Yeah, there isn't any one in particular. So like, I mean, when I first got in, I just looked for coin callers, if you will. And that's how I created a list. Or when I was like, oh, cool, I'll just buy this thing. And then I elevated to the next level, which is you hear coin callers give coins and you write down those coins and then you go and you research them. And now I'm at the point where I don't listen to any other crypto influencer, except for every now and again, Invest Answers, because I like his data. But there's no other crypto influencer who I listen to. There isn't crypto stuff on any of my of social media feeds, except for YouTube because of subscriptions. But
so what do you listen to
now,
instead? You said except for YouTube. Can you shout out some of them?
Well, on YouTube, like YouTube is where the people are who I trusted when I was growing up in these young crypto streets. There is Crypto Lark, who, if you're new, is great. If you get a little bit more advanced, there are other better people, in my personal opinion. There was also Ivan on Tech, because he is a programmer in nature, and I actually took some of his courses and got certifications in like JavaScript for getting ready to program in Solidity and for like blockchain and business applications and stuff like that. And so I like the angle he's able to take from things and provide like things a little bit more technically. Coin Bureau is great. I really learned a lot from Coin Bureau about researching altcoins myself. He was probably, their organization was the most useful in me learning how to research altcoins myself and also create that altcoin research template that I made. And Invest Answers, really unique data-driven approach to like analyzing like on-chain flows, TradFi flows of like money coming into the system. And by the system, I mean like different blockchain systems. He has a very just like data-driven approach to things, and I like that. And then any other folks on YouTube, there was Nicholas Merton at DataDash. He's really a TradFi guy, but he taught me a lot about macroeconomic impacts on markets. And that kind of was really the seed that inspired me to expand my macro knowledge. I don't really listen to him anymore though, but I do appreciate him for that. And I've met him in person also at a crypto conference. Anything else? No, that's about it. Those are the people I'd recommend on YouTube. And those are the people that pop up on my page, even though I don't really watch any of them anymore, except for Invest Answers. I don't watch every single one of his videos. I probably watch like one out of like every 4 or 5 that he puts out.
I see people in the comments saying, Doug is good for this. Travis is good for this. I saw Rob from Invest Answers. All these are great sources. But if you are listening to somebody who's just going to call out tokens, you should expect to lose a lot of money. Yeah. Because you are following a delayed signal. Like in the time it takes me to research something and tell you about it, if what you're doing is hoping to buy things early, you're late. The way I think about it is over time, you want to save money and time. You want to get more strategic about your investing, moving away from gambling and chance and trusting people to curating a quality feed of information that's not just going to inform you like buy this token now, but is going to inform you about like, what is crypto about? Who are the movers and shakers in our space? What are they building in order to determine before a token launches that it might launch so you can be truly early? For example, you might have heard of the VVV token, Venice AI. They had a really hot airdrop the other day. And if you had been paying attention, you would have known about them last year in April when Eric Voorhees, the founder, a Bitcoin OG, who you if you're in the space, you should have been following anyway, kind of thing. Not to shame you, but just to say like, he's a primary source of information close to the center of what's happening in our space. He appeared on the Unchained podcast with Laura Shin. Another great primary source of information who has timely guests, the most relevant topics, back in April to talk about the future of blockchain and AI, where they intersect, and the company he was building, Venice AI, why he was building it, how you could get involved. They were building an LLM. And at that time, he said, we don't have any plans to launch a token. If you had gone in April, registered to use their beta and started using it when it was released in October, you would have earned an airdrop of about $6,000. Now, a lot of people in crypto think, I got to wait till I hear about it on TikTok, the token is released, then I'll buy it. No. You're late. You need to be listening to primary sources of information, not influencers on TikTok, people who are building. You need to be in before there's a token, using their protocols, or at least getting signal about things that make you curious enough to pay attention in the future. And then for no money up front, for very little time, you can be in position so that a year later when the token comes out, if it comes out, you'll get the airdrop. Like that's the alpha. Or at the very least, you can hear primary sources like Eric Voorhees and Laura Shin and Chris Dixon and Will Watson, all these people talk about what they are doing and why it might matter, so that you'll have a better, stronger filter for any information that comes your way. And you won't have to rely on influencers for what token is out there. You'll be getting that information yourself, and every decision you make about any investment will be better for it because you'll be understanding what it is, why it matters, why you might invest or not. That's strategy versus trying to time something, trying to gamble. It'll make you richer. I hope that helps.
Well said.
Thank you. Alex, are you putting on socks? Oh, it's Arlo, buddy. Points for Arlo.
Are you putting on socks?
He just had that motion to him. It looked like he was pulling something up, but it was.
He's getting a little bigger.
Oh, he's getting
He
big.
is getting a little bigger. Tech CEO says, I legit do the opposite of influencers. When they say buy, it's probably time to sell. Interesting.
He's getting bigger and worse, aren't you?
Bigger and worse.
Bigger and worse. It's more
It's very
problems.
bad. He's very bad.
Is he peeing everywhere?
Oh my god. He's actually better about that. He's very mobile and curious, and he eats everything, and he steals things. Ow.
And he bites your fingers. Look at his butt. He
does.
just wants a little milk. He's just looking for something to drink.
Mhm.
He is so cute, though. I bet he's really soft. Is he as soft as he looks?
Oh yeah. Yep.
He's got to be, or
jealous.
you'd throw him out the window probably and put him on the street.
10 weeks. We've now had him
Good boy.
since he was 20 minutes old, and now he's almost 3 months.
Almost 20,000 minutes old. I have no idea how many minutes that is.
What a little guy.
I'm bullish on Arlo. We have time probably for a couple of more topics before we ride our dogs and ponies into the sunset. So if you've got a last minute crypto question, if you've got a comment, a good joke, a word of wisdom, let us know. And if you haven't yet, take a screenshot of the link here, and join us in the free Rise Up Discord server. It's the best place to ask a question, share a comment, a link that isn't limited like TikTok comments are to 150 characters. It's got a ton of free resources, an awesome global community, and really the only thing missing is you. So see you there. It's a date. What are you guys thinking as we head off into the weekend? What's got your attention and your interest?
I mean, what has my attention and interest is what we talked about with Doug, which is, can Bitcoin decouple from the stock market? If the stock market really is looking to take a little bit of a dipsy dip,
Mhm.
And I think there's enough there. So, I mean, like that's the game theory. And then once you have Bitcoin decouple, human emotions start to come into play to our game theory of Bitcoin, which when I mean game theory, it's you have an incredibly hard asset. I'm talking about the limited supply. There's like 3 million Bitcoin that are lost. So out of the 21 million, you really have, I don't know, conservatively 17 million Bitcoin really out there for purchase, maybe 16 million, right? Something around those range. And you have Michael Saylor doing what he's doing with MicroStrategy. You have the Fed, not the Fed, but the federal government digital stockpile reserve, 14 states, strategic Bitcoin reserve, the Czech Republic, all the countries, right? The ETF products. If you have decoupling from the stock market, add even more gasoline on top of that rocket fuel because you have human emotions from the stock market. People are down on their stocks and they go, what's making money? And then they go and they make the emotional mistake, usually, of buying when something is down to then go and buying while something's at a top. And if Bitcoin's decoupled from the stock market, Bitcoin's the thing that's going up because Larry Fink wants it to desperately. And so you have even more money than throwing onto Bitcoin. And then that whole scarcity thing, the exchanges will run out of Bitcoin. I mean, they won't really run out of Bitcoin. There will always be a seller. No, there's always going to be a seller.
Well,
There's
but the question
there's always
is
going to be a seller.
at what level?
Yeah, but that's the thing. As less and less supply becomes available, the price has to go up in order for people to be willing to bring that supply to market to sell, right? So like the idea of exchanges being, going to zero isn't true. That won't happen. But like going down, yeah, sure, that'll happen. And that's where the fun starts. And if we decouple from the stock market, it just accelerates that timeline. So those are my thoughts going into this weekend. And we're at like the precipice right now to really potentially start to see that decoupling happen for the first time. And then we have PCE inflation data on Friday. So that's a big trend setter for short-term price action.
So much economic data all the time. It's like
Too much data.
It's like the news is overwhelming, man.
It's almost like the economies.
It's almost like the economy
24/7.
is 24/7, even when the markets are closed. Exactly.
Yeah.
Somebody asked about Thorchain and Theta Network, aka Rune and Theta, and honestly, I don't hear a ton about them. I think Thorchain is supposed to be like a cross-chain liquidity.
By a ton, do you mean literally nothing?
Literally nothing. But that doesn't mean that there's nothing going on there necessarily. I just
they
don't
don't
see
want to tell anyone about it, and no one cares.
Yeah, I think they're a little insular in terms of telling their stories. Both of them. Theta's been around for a minute, and I think they're doing. I just Googled them because I had to see what was going on. I think they're doing decentralized video streaming now, like many
That was always the
people
plan.
before them.
I
was always the plan?
say ew to that.
Yeah.
Not that that's a bad idea. I just say
No.
ew to that as an investment. Like me looking at an idea to invest in, I go, no, I'm good. I'll move on to something else.
Yeah, I would say look for some proof in the pudding. If it's trying to provide a product for that, does the market want it? Are people using it? And can you do more than just speculate? And I know they all have partnerships. You know, we're partnered with Google, we're partnered with Samsung. What does that translate to in terms of like proof in the pudding, real world results? And at this time in the market, this very active time in the cycle, are people doing more? That's kind of what I would say. I hope that helps. What you laughing about?
Oh, I'm laughing at, I keep expecting to see a ticker tape start to come out of his mouth with new information.
Honestly, if we had a little Rise Up Morning Show
the
animation,
economy.
that'd be it. I would love to see, Will in a suit, like walking up and smiling and opening his mouth and starting to talk, and then just like ticker comes out, like Beetlejuice style.
All right, the information today is, yeah.
What if people hold and don't sell once all the Bitcoin supply has been mined and is on the blockchain? Imagine a scenario where Bitcoin is at $1 million a token. Would you sell? No? Okay, great. Now imagine a scenario where it's $2 million a token, $5 million a token, $10 million a token, and people will pay you for it. Would you sell? The increasing answer for many people as the incentive gets stronger is yes, especially the earlier you got in. You don't have to sell everything, but almost certainly, because markets are efficient, there will be a buyer who will offer a price at which somebody will sell that the market determines is valuable. This is why XRP is probably not going to go to $10,000 tomorrow.
But
I
would like to tell everybody that if and when the day comes where Bitcoin's $1 million, $2 million, $5 million, you don't have to sell your Bitcoin. You can instead, and we're starting to see this offered, and it will become a more public offering now that SAB 121 is gone and banking regulations for Bitcoin will be positive. You can get a loan against your Bitcoin. This is what the super wealthy do with their assets, like New York State real estate. They don't sell their New York, Manhattan real estate. You never sell that. It's an asset that's going to go up in value forever so long as New York's a city. And so what you do is you take a loan out against your Bitcoin. This is advantageous because you don't pay taxes on a loan. You pay interest, which is way less than taxes. And then also you maintain ownership of, let's say Bitcoin's $1 million. You can get a loan, let's just say up to like $600,000 using that asset as collateral, right?
On Coinbase right now, I think it's 100,000 if people want like a step-by-step, for example.
Sure, but let's say you're going through a traditional bank, right?
Can you get a Bitcoin loan through a traditional bank right now?
No, but you will be able to. That's what I'm saying.
Totally.
We're talking about a scenario where Bitcoin's $1 million plus right now as the example, which means more time has passed, which means more positive regulation has passed, which we all know is coming with this administration, right?
Yeah.
So, what was I saying? So let's say it's $1 million. You can get a loan up to $600,000. The Bitcoin is the collateral that's used to give you that loan. So you get $600,000. You still have your asset, your Bitcoin. Granted, you're going to pay interest on that loan, but the idea is that Bitcoin will go up in value more at a faster pace than the interest is a cost on your loan, right? So that's the thing. And then you're not paying taxes. So you can use the appreciation that you've made on your Bitcoin to pay off the loan. You still have your Bitcoin and you have $600,000 in cash to then go and make other investments and make, if you just put in the S&P 500, 7% on top of that, right? Which is going to pay for the interest on your loan in most cases.
And the thing about that too is if people are doing that instead of selling their Bitcoin, and more people come to the Bitcoin network, want a piece of the dwindling supply, the increasingly scarce asset, then that is going to the value of that token on the market. So it will outpace the rate at which you're paying interest in terms of growth, most likely. Go ahead, Al.
That's kind of that was part of the impetus for all of the extra FOMO after talking to Dennis yesterday, because as we're talking about,
I need more Bitcoin.
I know,
I need more of it.
as we're talking about states starting to pass legislation, it looks like we're going to see the first one theoretically be complete in February. However, you also have countries in that game as well, with El Salvador already having been there for years, truly the early birds. And now the Czech Republic getting interested. Right now, that's just interest. You know, it's not legislation or even an official proposal or anything yet. But, you know, who knows, maybe. With the United States contemplating it and potentially seeing legislation introduced for a strategic Bitcoin reserve, in addition to whatever the digital asset stockpile ends up being, whether those two are in conjunction or not, you're going to run into this scenario where several countries are like, let's do it. We want to. It becomes more of an issue of national security to secure a country's wealth in something that more and more of the world is believing in. And not wanting to get left behind. Countries have lots of money, and like we were saying, they don't really give a shit about getting the world's greatest entry price. They're not doing TA. They're looking to acquire assets. So in theory, you run into this scenario where states are trying to buy it, countries are trying to buy it. There's really not that much of it. There's only 21 million, and almost 4 million of that is theorized to be lost forever into dead wallets. So even less, it won't be finished being mined until 2140. So there's also probably a massive boom in mining infrastructure and equipment as those countries try to be the one that's going to mine the rest of it, wherever that is. So all of a sudden you're just in this panic to acquire as much and get as much of it as you can, which is why I am personally allergic to selling it. I don't sell Bitcoin because who knows? It's not, going to be next year, 10 years or 15 years, or who fucking knows. But all I know is if I already have some, I'm already winning. And I would like to keep it that way.
Speaking of people who are already winning, your mom says, good show. Always interesting. Thanks, guys. Yeah. Have a good weekend.
Speaking of parents, my dad watches the show on YouTube about like every day or so.
Absolutely love it.
He sent me a text and he was like, Willie, I liked your episode with Dunleavy on it.
Shout out to Mr. Watson.
Thanks, Dad. Appreciate
That's killer. The third. Can we just call him
the third?
The third?
That work.
OG3? Yeah.
I got to get going though, guys. I got calls from 9:30 to 11, and then I got a bunch of other stuff I got to do, so I got to prep a little bit.
Give us a final thought then.
I kind of already gave my final thought, which is what I'm looking for in the weekend, which is that decoupling between the stock market and Bitcoin really kind of potentially starting to happen here. So let's try to see if we can get a confirmation of that, because that would be just a ridiculously good thing for Bitcoin to do at a time where the stock market is a little shaky still. Yeah, I mean, that's all I got, guys. Keep your eyes out for PCE inflation data coming out on Friday. The number that you want to see get beaten is 0.2%. By beaten, I mean you want to see it lower than that. That would be a really good sign for the market because it would increase odds of there being interest rate cuts at some point this year. That's it. Otherwise, I'm excited for the TA course tonight. It should be good. I was joking with these guys yesterday. Well, I was like, I'm going to be lying to all these people for 2 hours. But honestly, like if I had this course 4 years ago, I would have fast-tracked my extreme learning curve to technical analysis because I sucked for years and years and years just trying to piece together everybody else's strategy and things that didn't make sense to me. And I because people explain stuff but way too technical and not just like this is how you explain it in plain English. It took forever. So I think it's valuable. I know the live course is full, but the recording will be available for purchase afterwards. I think for $15, but if you're a premium or premium plus member, I think it's for $6.
Yeah, and the real alpha is sign up for a free trial on Patreon. We've got
sign
the
up for a free trial.
And then get it for $6.
Oh God. All right, I gotta go.
Go, business.
I gotta go.
See you soon. Bye. William Watson is the Henry Cavill of crypto, Paris says, and I'm inclined to agree. Maybe it's the other way around, though, that Henry Cavill is the Will Watson of Hollywood. I don't know about you, but that's what I think.
So
We got a couple good questions. Are you seeing something you'd like to talk about?
yeah, so really quick, just because it had come up earlier. So Theta started right as that digital or not digital, decentralized streaming platform.
Oh, see, I thought it started something else.
No. Well, and they have evolved, right? So you had to adopt AI and stuff like that. And so now it looks like it's decentralized cloud infrastructure for a bunch of different stuff, AI, media, streaming and production, various entertainment things. They're doing something called Edge Cloud, which is this thing that they are tweeting about, like madmen. I mean, the tweets have engagement. They're talking about something. It's very interesting. A lot of university partnerships, which is all having to do with adoption of this Edge Cloud AI platform, whatever the hell that is. So that's what I gotta look up. But I don't know. I don't hear anyone in the general space excited about it, which always makes me nervous. Like you have somewhat like a company that's doing a thing, and no one really cares about it, except for the people who are holding the token. I guess, I don't know, fingers crossed for them, I guess.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Thoughts and prayers. There's a good question here about entry prices for Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah, that's where I was going.
So we just got done with a lot of conjecture conversation with Dennis Porter. Definitely check it out. It's on the YouTube page, as well as our previous episode with him in the After Dark playlist. I personally believe that the most expensive thing when it comes to Bitcoin is not the price tag right now. I don't try to time my entry. I buy the same amount of Bitcoin automatically every single day, and it's a little bit. In order to dollar cost average, which means buying at a regular schedule, to reduce volatility, it's proven to do that. And instead of trying to time the market and maybe missing an opportunity to accumulate Bitcoin, I believe that the most important thing is just to buy it at any price to get more. And if it's a down day or a down period, then I can buy a little more aggressively with the extra money I have lying around. I can skip a latte that day or a pack of cigarettes, and I should be doing that more anyway. If I make a little bonus money, that's going to Bitcoin. That kind of thing is what I do instead of trying to time the market. What about you, Alex?
Yeah, I mean, that's honestly how I think about it as well. Just, I'm not, like I said, I'm allergic to selling Bitcoin, which means that I'm not trading it. First of all, I'm a terrible trader, so I know my strengths and I stay in my lane.
Yo, Tom.
I really, truly I know that I want to own more of it. I would love to own multiple whole coins eventually. I don't know whether that will happen. But what I can do is squirrel little bits away at a regular basis. If it hits 500,000, I'm not selling any. First of all, what's up, dude? And no, I mean, I don't probably not, because I think there would be plenty of other things, and I would be way more interested in leveraging it to just use as a more of a strategic asset. I have a very hard time. Fun fact, I have never. Let's see. I sold Bitcoin one time, and it brought me great pain. But I didn't have a choice. I needed the money.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was very unfortunate, and it was the first thing that I replenished when I was back in a position to begin reinvesting in it again. And I don't think you don't have to do a lot. This is little bits stack up over time. I think it's a great disservice to people who are interested in acquiring something of it but don't have $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 to throw around and feel discouraged from putting $10 in. But like all of the classic great pieces of investing advice that you have heard going back years and years and years and years, whatever it is that you can afford to put into something, if you have conviction in it and you want to participate, go for it.
Timing the market beats timing the market.
$10 a month, start there, work on it from there.
Yeah, and I think any solution is a good solution. Some are better than others. But again, you don't want to be waiting, hoping it goes down. Because what if it goes up? What if it goes to 250,000? Then you're going to feel silly that you missed 6 months of buying Bitcoin at what seems like a discount. In a world where we measure value in dollars, which are inflationary, they're always going to go down in value. They're always being debased. Bitcoin is designed to simply be worth more. So there's just never a bad time to buy it. You can use Coinbase, you can use Kraken, you can use a Bitcoin ATM. I have found that the cheapest way I know personally to do it that I like is I use a solution called river.com. They are an exchange like Coinbase or Kraken that is specifically designed to help people who want to buy Bitcoin get the best deal on it. They connect to a lot of banks, connect to mine, probably connect to yours. I think they're available in several different countries. They're compliant with all the laws. And I like them because they allow you to automatically set a buy limit. You know, they pull money from my bank or card and they buy the same amount on whatever schedule I set. Zero fees on recurring buys and withdrawals. And though the show is not officially sponsored by them, we do have a referral link that you can use at theriseupmorningshow.com. It's in the exclusive deals tab. If you can't find it, leave me a comment. And I think you get like $5 of extra Bitcoin if you spend $100 or something like that. And then I think I get $5 of Bitcoin too. And it's, you know, going to the show stockpile. So check it out, river.com. Super easy. Like it a lot.
Someone was asking just about pros and cons on ETH.
Oh, great question.
And then specifically, like where do you see it going? So 2 very separate conversations, pros and cons on ETH, and then price predictions. So first of all, just disclaimer, no idea where the price is going. I do know that Trump's World Liberty Financial has been buying it like it's going out of style. $100 million plus in the last few months. Just including a single day where nearly $50 million was basically one shot, which is wild. But I mean, overall, several things are objectively true about Ethereum as a network. There's more TVL on Ethereum than every other blockchain put together. However, what I don't know, and I would love to see like some place where I could get data on this, like the age of the TVL and how long it's been since different chunks of it have moved or been accessed. Daniel brought this up the other day when I was talking to him, just that lots of blockchains have parts of their TVL are basically lost forever. They're stuck in smart contracts that are, you know, dead. Wallets are dead. No more access to it. You know, people have lost.
One big example is Solana. Pumped out fun.
Yeah. So there's tons of little tiny pockets of you know what was liquidity sitting in different places. So some of that on ETH is certainly true, but the other part of it that's true is that there's a lot of giant stacks that are just comfortable there and that aren't bothered by the size of the fees because these people are moving millions and millions of dollars at a time. And in that sense, it's going to be extremely difficult for something to like kill ETH. I truly do not believe that a time will come when ETH is just like not it anymore. I think if anything, it would just be slowly replaced and overtaken. You know, the growth rate of Ethereum's TVL compared to, let's say, Solana's TVL is going to, you know, intersect, and then one will grow faster than the other. And it would kind of be more like the way that MySpace went out of style, where it didn't just turn off one day. People just started using Facebook instead. Yeah. And so in that sense, it's very hard to imagine it going anywhere anytime soon. Plus, it is the only other investable asset via ETP in the United States besides Bitcoin. And we already know that it's on the SEC's menu for this year to tackle staking with the Ethereum ETFs, which would be, I don't think there's enough letters in the word massive to describe how big that would be. Because in that sense, you have something with the growth potential of Ethereum, which many people look at as just being, you know, the other big blue chip. And the fact that it could be a dividend paying investment through traditional investment accounts. Like my Charles Schwab brokerage account through my Roth IRA can pay me a dividend for holding the ETH ETF. You bet your ass I'm going to do that.
Yeah. And why wouldn't you, you know, a lot of people are like, I don't want to have to choose between investing in a 401k and investing in crypto. Now you don't have to choose. You don't have to take that money out. You don't have to pay a tax on it. You can just reallocate. That's a no-brainer for people. I think it's huge. Alex, can I also say, somebody asked, what's the difference between, Solana and Ethereum? What's the differentiator aside from it being a place for memes? And I would invite Amy to chime in here. Also, shout out Amy for the comment that we missed reading on the air, but that I want to highlight, saying something like, last year I sold my car and bought Bitcoin and Solana. That comment, I'm allergic to selling Bitcoin, hits hard. And I was like,
Oh, yeah.
Dang, Amy, you're a legend.
This is the way.
This is the way.
We'll walk to work for Bitcoin.
Yeah, basically. But Solana, you might think it's just a meme chain, but when you look at the way that it's architected, there are a couple of interesting things about
when
it.
people say that makes me physically
But I understand why they think it, because they absolutely have generated a lot of attention and a lot of dollars because of memes, which are, probably the most accessible way people can use cryptocurrency today right now. Aside from maybe stablecoins, it's like a killer app. But Solana is interesting because if you look at the meme volume and you look at all the other volume that it supports, it is fast, it's cheap, like everything. It's broken a lot, and they have fixed it and fixed it and fixed it. As a network, it has been resilient, responsive, and it has evolved to support the kind of volume that absolutely no other chain has demonstrated it has the capacity to do. ETH has got all these L2s that are taking away fees, they're taking away activity. It's like cool and great because it's scaling, but also potentially extractive and cannibalistic. It's causing a lot of problems for Ethereum at this stage of its growth. Meanwhile, Solana is like, we'll just keep chugging. Nobody is having problems with transaction throughput on Solana, and they are still building solutions to scale them further. And they have great consumer apps, great consumer features that make it possible to build apps there. Is Blinks theirs? Blinks is theirs. Blockchain links to integrate into social functions. They've got everyday carry type devices. People are building hardware there. And the network is becoming increasingly decentralized over time. For my mind, Bitcoin's a category of one. ETH is a category of one. It's, the original smart contract platform and the backbone of the future internet. But Solana aims to be a category of one for what? We'll see in the future. Right now, it's a lot of memes, consumer apps, and they have said, or different people who work there, build things there, have said they want to be the place where finance actually lives and can do transactions.
That's why the blockchain was built. For the record, it was initially intended to be a payment system, which is why, I don't know if you guys remember, here's a blast from the past for the Solana OGs. When NFTs were first popping onto the scene in 2021 in a big way, not that 2021 is when the first NFTs came out, but you know what I mean? When culturally they became super relevant and trendy, they were, of course, being put on Solana. However, Solana did not have, they weren't set up for it, and things were breaking all over the place. There was no universally agreed upon token standard for NFTs to be minted using. So some wallets were compatible with some and some with others, and some NFT marketplaces could see some and not others. And it was just they were being sent off into the void, and things were freezing, breaking. It was a disaster. But the thing that remained true is through all of that, everyone basically put their heads down. It was okay, guys, fucking chill. We're gonna use this standard. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, good. All right, resume. And since then, Solana has just been sort of regardless of whether or not it's had any downtime or whatever. Xfinity goes down all the time, and there's still a gajillion people with Xfinity Wi-Fi in their house.
Yeah.
The thing about Solana is just they've cultivated culture, and people who want to put stuff where the people are going to go there, because that's where the people and the liquidity is.
Yeah, and the user experience, you pointed out with the contracts, the contract, to launch an SPL token a year ago, you could do it, but you probably needed to be a dev, or you needed to be pretty sophisticated with using GPT to help you code. And now, Pump.Fun, any number of other solutions, you can launch an SPL token for pennies, more or less, in about 5 minutes.
And
anybody
way
can do
cheaper
it
now, than it was even just a year ago.
So, I'm definitely bullish on that. Can do people use it for memes? Absolutely. But can they use it for other stuff? Totally. We just got off a call with go ahead.
Go ahead.
No. I'm good.
I was gonna say that was my initial point. The point that makes me itchy is Is it being used for memes? Yeah, because people want memes, and so they're going to put them all on the chain where all the money and all the people are, because they want their meme to make them money. So the fact is that memes are trendy. You can be pissed off about the fact that memes are trendier than you want them to be. The fact of the matter is that they're just going to go in the place that makes the most sense for them to go, which happens to be the network with all the people and all the money and all of the velocity. So that's why they're on Solana and not your other favorite blockchain that doesn't have any users. And in addition to all those memes, there's a ton of other stuff. Mert went on a rampage. The other rampage is a strong word, but someone was just like, hey, there's nothing else on Solana but memes. And he just like rattled off like 40 companies actively building, and every single one of them has a website with a product, whether it succeeds long-term or not, or whether they're doing great things or not. Like, they exist and they're working on it.
Amy pointed out there's a lot of deep in there. Hive Mapper, Helium.
The whole phone thing, right? Like Saga started off as kind of a meme, and then like MKBHD gave it a relatively positive review, which is a big deal for him. And now Seeker is Tolly's pride and joy, and super interesting. Is it going to be any good? It's probably not going to be an iPhone or a Samsung, but like, we're moving in the right direction, and we need to see more of that kind of stuff. So keep iterating and breaking shit, and that's kind of the whole point.
And totally worked in device. Like, that was how he got his start, was building phones and things. So like, if anybody's going to take a swing at that bat, I'd go for it, bro.
One of the guys I really want to get on the show to talk about is a guy I was fortunate enough to meet last year, Roach, who runs a project on Solana called Roach. He runs a project on Solana called D-Reader, and it's basically just like, it's a comic book company. They do stories, comics, and all of the comics are NFTs, but there's all sorts of like different ways that you can do NFT stuff with it. So like, when you buy it, it's like wrapped, it's like in the cellophane mint condition, and if you read it, you can degrade the quality of it. So if you read it once, it like degrades from mint to lightly red, and if you go through it multiple times and click through and whatever, then they can become more well read. So you can collect like mint edition comic books, and you can collect or you can just like buy well read ones at a discount to like read stories and keep up with things. It's fucking awesome. And they've been chugging away for a while. No, not a meme in sight. And there's just a ton of it. So the memes are going to be there. And if what's the first thing that pops up? You want to give Solana grief about memes? What's the first thing that happens anytime any chain pops out of the ground and like attracts its first initial little swath of users? Someone makes a meme coin, and then all of a sudden, everyone who's bitching and moaning about Solana having memes is all of a sudden shilling XRP memes. Give me a fucking break.
Yeah. I wanted to point out one thing real quick that we was talking about with Amy. We were talking about DPIN here in the comments. I am really bullish on the idea of decentralizing physical infrastructure. I absolutely think there are so many intermediaries that make it difficult to access services that would be better if they could be secured by like a user-owned network. Something that makes me really bearish on this current like iteration of most DPIN projects, as well as like decentralized socials, is these companies have this vision to attract a network of users, and the incentive that they use to do it is often a venture funded or crowd funded token that is liquid, that is distributed to early adopters, sometimes for purchase in bad cases. Like I would say Blockdag is a bad example of like, hey, our network's super cool. No one uses it yet. Do you want the token? I knew you would. Buy this thing. It's $1,000. That's the only way to get it. And then the only way to get the tokens is to buy them from the miners or trade them on the market. You know what I mean? It's an extraction thing to sell tokens, or use this service to earn some tokens. We'll pay you for your data. Thank you very much. And over time, as more people come to the network, Amy pointed this out, that incentive is diluted. If it's a play to earn game or a drive to earn, mapping app, and we've got $100,000 in the pot, and 100,000 people want to use the app over time, the first 2 people who get there are going to make a lot of money. Everybody else is going to make a little less money over time, until eventually like the cost to get the device or spend your time doing the thing goes to zero, unless they can generate revenue. And often they don't have a product market fit revenue thing. And like, totally cool. We're a venture space. These are startups. We get it. You got to fail. I am baffled in a world where tokens are basically free and infinitely programmable, that more companies don't design better incentives by, for example, having a liquid token, but also having like a points token. I'm Hive Mapper. You're a driver. You drove the most this month. Great. You're going to get a hyperinflationary token that you can't exchange for cash, but maybe you can redeem for prizes or status in our ecosystem. And we're going to give you an NFT. You were the number one driver this month, or some other sort of valuable collectible. If it's a play to earn game, great. You're the number one player this month. Here's a skin that only you get. That is valuable. Cost me nothing. It creates value for you and me. And I am just baffled that people are still stuck in like what if we did a token that people could sell for cash? I don't know. I just think there's so much potential there, and I'm amazed more people aren't doing that. You could hire us to help you do it. Call us.
Yeah, it's. I saw a video the other day that made me pause, and I was like, wait, this might be satire. I have to be careful. Because it was like someone who's, starting up a TikTok account to shill a meme that they're going to launch. So they're beginning the shill fest. And it was just like, I've just been like seeing so many memes, and I decided I'm going to do one where the dev doesn't sell. And I was like, holy shit. Oh my God.
What a concept.
Where'd you get that idea? The bumper sticker of every fucking meme ever.
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do a quick round of final thoughts, because it's about that time to take our dogs and ponies into the sunset. My final thought is to respond to this comment. Sniper, if you want to run a startup project past us, what's the best way to connect? I would say send us an email at riseup@facelesslabs.io. Connect with us in the free Discord server, discord.gg/riseup. If you need that email, you can also find it at theriseupmorningshow.com. Any of those official channels is great. Please don't DM us on social media unless you absolutely need to, because we get a lot of DMs. And on that note, we will never, ever, ever DM you, whether you're watching on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, whether you join the Discord and you get a message from someone who looks like me, or get 10 followers on TikTok that look like Alex. Even if they reach out to you in a really sweet way to check on you, that is not us. We will never DM you first, because we want to keep you safe, because anybody who does that is absolutely, positively trying to scam you. They are not your teachers. Block them, run from them. Then they can't hurt you. So follow us here. These are our official accounts. To find more resources to connect with us, the riseupmorningshow.com and the Discord are the best places to do it. That's my final thought. Alex, what about you? Good jokes, words of wisdom?
Nope.
Complaints, suggestions,
well met. Just
questions for the 8
was like, is it the 100K domain? Yes, it is. It is that guy. It's either satire or he's an absolute moron.
The 100K domain? What's that?
Yeah, it's whatever his shill is. He's like pretending that he bought a domain name for $100,000, and when you guys see what the domain name's going to be, you're going to lose your mind. And I'm like, this is.
He tokenized the domain, and you get to buy a share of it. Oh,
I don't know. All I know is like this is either well done satire, or you have 4 brain cells, and all of them are in a little mosh pit trying to compete for the fucking one seat left in your head. Incredible.
I do actually have one more final thought, which is from inspired by Parsa here. You guys should have a class in schools. We do have classes. You can get recordings, but you also can learn with us totally free here on TikTok. I am going to make a video today, jumping on the TikTok, education trend, letting people know they've been enrolled in Web3 101. And I have a playlist right now. I'm trying to be more like Alex, who's got great playlists that you should watch if you want to take a course with us. And I will be working on one that will give you weekly homework, some updates, stuff like that, because TikTok's great, but it serves you videos at the wrong time. And we want to help you get an organized, easy to understand journey of learning. Our profiles are good. His profile is better. Working on the playlist, the best place for it is Discord. We can help you get in touch with classes, with coaching, with all kinds of resources, free, paid, fun, serious, whatever you need. The only thing missing is you. So Alex, man, thanks for another great week on the show. Shout out to Will. Shout out to Dennis Porter. Shout out to our friend Dunleavy. I mean, we had a really great week of shows.
Big week.
It was a big week of shows. Also, shout out to our friends at Abstract. We just got connected with the streaming service there. So probably sometime in the not too distant future, we'll have a live stream where we're connected over on Abstract too. So check them out. Check us out. Be kind to yourselves. And that's it, my friends. We'll be back next Monday. Everybody stay safe. Be well. And until next time, my friends, rise up. Cool. Good show.
trying to